Okay, my name's Jody Bailey. My username on forums is 306. I'm 30 years old. I'm from Canada. I'm Canadian's only representative here today. I've been overclocking for enough years that everybody knows me and either love me or hate me in the community. I'm known in overclocking sort of for 32 mil Super Pi. I love memory, tweaking memory, testing memory, overclocking memory, but I also tend to say what I think, and overclocking needs somebody to say what they think once in a while.
Okay, that's good because there is a Super Pi and maximum today.
Yeah, Super Pi 8 mil. I don't know. I would have preferred 32, but most guys would say it takes too long to run, so I understand 8 mil. It should be interesting.
Okay. How do you feel about the GOOC event in general?
The GOOC event, I mean, it's always a good event because they bring in the right guys from the US. Lots of events will have an online qualifier or something like that, and you sort of get some random people showing up. But GOOC for North America has been really good because we have the same sort of group of guys, the same guys that putting in the most time, putting in the most effort, earning their spot here throughout the year. It's not just one single event where somebody gets lucky with an online score or something like that. It's the guys that earned it that show up every year. And Gigabyte does a good job. I mean, every year it's a little bit different. This year we've got a few different benchmarks that, I mean, there's no 3D benchmarks this year, which was a twist. Some people will probably complain about that. I think it's just another twist. It's an interesting twist. It'll make a different event this year than years past.
Okay, and what's your feeling more about having almost always the same guys in this kind of competition?
I mean, if it's the same guys that keep deserving to be here, I've got no complaints with having the same guys at the events. If it's just some guys that haven't really earned their spot or don't belong here because they got lucky or they know somebody in marketing or something like that, that's sort of where I have a problem. But I mean, everybody here is the top benchers in North America. I mean, they're the guys day in, day out, constantly putting up scores, constantly holding their place in hardware bots. So I mean, I've got no problem with the same guys showing up if they deserve to be here, yeah.
How do you feel about this event especially? How do you think you will perform for this event?
This event was a bit difficult for me to prepare for. Admittedly, I have been out of overclocking for the whole summer. I went on a road trip, been biking across Canada, seeing that great country of ours from a slower pace than in a car. And so I haven't really had access to a computer for a few months. So this event the preparation was finding hardware to bench with. I have a friend, Jake Crimmins, lucky enough to come down from San Jose. He brought me some, cooling pot and stuff like that, so I'll be able to compete. But it'll be interesting. I've used the X58 UD7 before, so last year I had no experience with the Gigabyte board. So this year at least I've used the board, so it'll be a little bit more prepared than last year, but not a whole lot. No.
It's to be pretty tough for you, right?
Yeah, it's going to be tough because, like I said, I flew in from where I was sort of staying on the west coast in Canada. I didn't have any equipment. I flew in with a backpack and 2 t-shirts and a pair of shorts, so I don't really have any gear. I wasn't really in the mindset, but it happened late this year, so I'll do my best to represent Canada the best I can.
Okay, cool. Go Canada! Are you proud to be a contestant for this event?
Oh yeah, I mean, like I just said, I'm representing Canada here. We have some overclockers in Canada. It's starting to come up there. I'm going to have to start benching again because my ranking on hardware bot's getting challenged by a couple of guys up and coming in Canada, which is good to see because for the last few years there hasn't been a lot of extreme overclocking going on in Canada. So anything we get now is awesome. It's good to see. So I come up here to represent my best. I mean, we have a reporter from Hardware Canucks. Everybody back home is going to know how I do. Everybody's watching based on the votes on the website. Lots of guys are aware. I was getting those votes from those Canadians. So I gotta show up today and do something and do my country proud, I guess. So
you told us that you didn't have time to prepare that. You know all the benchmarks that will be run today?
Yep. Maybe maximum. I've never actually ran maximum before. First time I go to run it, I'm going to be looking for the start button. I'm just honest. I don't really care. I have never ran it once.
Talking about the hardware, what do you think about the X58 UD7? And more generally, what do you think about Gigabyte quality products?
The Gigabyte the X58 is pretty much, I mean, it's starting to get a name. The UD9 and the UD7 in the overclocking circles. It's a solid board. Most X58 motherboards have been really solid. I mean, traditionally we'll have a few manufacturers with bad boards for certain chipsets, but the X58 has been really solid, and Gigabyte's been putting out solid boards. Done so well with Gigabyte motherboards. So last year when I came into the competition, I didn't do good. It took me a while to get the board just to post. So this year should be better. BIOS is really developed now. I mean, it's a mature BIOS, so everybody should be treated well with the board.
What's your thought about Gigabyte supporting the overclocking community? Do you think they do a lot, not that much?
I mean, we're here. We've got a banner behind us, media in front of us. So at some level, Gigabyte's doing the best job. I think GOOC was one of the early competitions. They've started a trend now. Other manufacturers are following that trend. They were the first in line to say, hey, let's support the overclockers. I've always gotten great support from Gigabyte USA and Gigabyte Canada. Rita, Eric, everybody's always been good supporters of overclocking and making it possible. All we can ask for is just more transparency. Today, when we're picking CPUs, we're going to ask for transparency from Gigabyte. As a community, as an overclocker, I talked with these guys every day that's going to be competing here, and the guys that aren't competing that want to be competing next year. And all we can ask for is transparency. We don't mind a manufacturer getting involved. We definitely don't mind a manufacturer supporting an event like this, putting these events on.
It's better for us.
Exactly, it's better for everybody. But there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. We're at a point with overclocking that I like to liken to skateboarding in the 70s. Manufacturers just started getting involved, it started getting professional, and there was a lot of problems early on. There was a lot of growing pains, and I just want to see Gigabyte stay transparent with their competitions, with their marketing, in supporting overclocking, and it'll let the sport grow as it should with proper guidelines and the way that we want it to go, because it can be huge like skateboarding is now.
Yeah, but you know, it's growing and growing year after year. It's sometimes even getting bigger than we ever expect.
It's gotten bigger faster than we expected, and that's not a bad thing. You know, if it's going to get huge, we want it to get huge. The manufacturers are going to be the ones that do that, because that's where the money comes from for events like this. We have to have that manufacturer support. So all we can ask is they stay transparent and just let it be known what they're supporting when they're supporting something, and it'll give credibility to a sport that needs nothing more than credibility right now, because there's always problems coming up, and overclocking's credibility gets questioned often.
How would you explain overclocking to someone that don't have a clue about it?
Like when going through customs to get here today.
Yeah.
The easiest analogy I found is liking it to like drag racing. And I say we're drag, because in North America, drag racing is huge, motorsports is huge, and everybody knows what a drag race is. Everybody knows you soup a car up, make it go faster, it gets time, the fastest guy wins. And you just liken it to drag racing and saying all we do is do it with the computers. Do whatever you have to do to make something go fast, get the lowest time or the fastest time or the highest frames per second or whatever the benchmark calls for. And I mean, that's overclocking in a nutshell. So people seem to take to that analogy pretty good, because they can always relate to drag racing or racing of some sort. So
that was the end of my question.
Okay.
So I wish you best luck for today, and I hope you will represent Canada proudly.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Again, just happy to be here. Thanks to Gigabyte for bringing us all out here again for what should be another interesting but really good event. Awesome.
Perfect,
thank you.